안녕하세요. You're listening to 4 from On One podcast.
All right, welcome to our second podcast. This is 4 from On One podcast. Gio, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Keith.
And Hakjun, how are you, buddy?
Okay. I'm doing just great. And if anybody listening this second podcast and missing our first one, then you should go back and listen the first one. That will be make you better.
All right,
Yes.
so we're three mates living here in Korea. If you missed the first podcast, I'm from Australia, Gio's from America, and Hakjun's from Korea. So this podcast, we're going to talk about how we met and ways of making friends. We're all in Korea, but these rules sort of can apply to if you're looking to live in a new country. It could work in Canada, England, Australia, any country. These sort of good ways of meeting people when you start a new country. I'm just going to start this conversation because we us boys aren't really up to date with all the coronavirus news. So this ain't a podcast for coronavirus news. I got a Facebook group if that's what you need. It's called COVID-19 News and Discussion. Go there for any up-to-date news. There's always people asking questions. All right, boys, let's talk about how we met. It was a great day. Gio, do you want to tell everyone?
Yeah, so just a quick little flashback. It was fall of 2020, and we had actually met at the SBL, which stands for the Seoul Baseball League rookie practice. So this was actually I believe it was either their 9th, maybe their 10th season. But the three of us met at that rookie practice. And from there, we headed straight back to HBC. And as Hyukjun referenced in the first episode, he lives in that area. And that's where we kind of hung out and kind of did a little bar hopping as we were waiting for the draft. Every season, every spring and fall season, the SBL holds a draft. And that's where we kind of hung out at the Shenanigans bar.
So we met on the same day. This league, it's not for professionals. We were all different levels. It's Seoul Baseball League, but it also could be a social baseball league. Like everyone gets there to have a good time.
Yeah.
Some people are really competitive. Some people are just really chilled. Hakjun, what made you join the league?
So I'm living this region called HBC, which is in Korea is Haebangchon. So they call HBC in short terms. There's one little bar really I like to go all the way time. Is that called Phillies Pub in HBC in Seoul. Actually, I started playing ball hockey at there because the name of bar is Phillies, but the main owner are the Canadians, so they love the heart. They love But I'm like, so I met these boys with the baseball jerseys, and they're like, "Oh man, baseball is my game. So where are you guys playing?" And then they told me that, "Oh hey, if you like to play baseball."
Is that your Canadian accent?
Yeah, it's a American big dude.
Oh, American accent. Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to play baseball and the real guys play, we are playing baseball in Seoul and the Yongsan base as well. But I'm saying Yongsan base is a military base, but
That's
they
right.
have really great baseball field. Like legit baseball plays.
And what's our baseball field like?
And we're nowhere near Seoul, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
We play on like a rock pitch.
Right, in Gwacheon.
So I joined this league and in the rookie practice, and we met each other, and then I think we all three boys have the click, and then like we enjoyed every time we gathering ever since that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And how about you, Gio? What made you sign up?
Really, it was just like a hobby. You know, I never really played ball like in school. I was more of a track and field volleyball player. But since I moved to Korea, I just wanted to kind of like make a connection with other expats who kind of enjoyed baseball. Just wanted to enjoy a casual beer league, which is exactly what SBL is. And it was just kind of right up my alley. And I heard of it because I had a coworker at the time who was actually playing for Team Shenanigans in the league. And he was it was the year that they won the championship. So the season had just come to an end. And then he let me know that the fall season was just starting up. So he directed me to their Facebook page. And that's when I kind of reached out and said, hey, I'm interested in playing. When's the next draft? Because I'm definitely going to sign up.
Yep. So both of you guys sort of joined for the hobby and the side. I actually did join up for the social scene because I moved from Daejeon to Gwangmyeon, which is close to Seoul. So I didn't have any friends up this way. So I was like, and I love playing sport. And in Daejeon, I didn't play much sport. I used to just go to the gym and go home, go home. So I wanted to play a sport, quick Google search, and I found Seoul Baseball League. And basically the league started it was meant to start the next week. I moved from Daejeon, but coronavirus sort of delayed our start. But yeah, I'm so glad I joined the league. The league is so much fun. Same with, what do you reckon the ratio between foreigners and Koreans is? About 60-40 foreigners to Koreans?
80-20, I think.
I thought 80-20, but I think as of recently, it's probably like 70-30 on average.
Yeah, so
it's increasing. A lot of Korean players are making more of an appearance. They're joining in larger groups.
Everyone gets along so well. Like a lot of different personalities and a few egos, but everyone gets along so well. Yeah. And we got people from America, Australia, Canada, England, New Zealand. Some people didn't play before. Yeah. And so it's such a good league. They put on after parties. Obviously, the bars run the parties and they follow the rules that are in place. And we also have some drinks. I can't wait for the day for us to maybe go to the races, which is near the track, near the baseball field.
The horse race park.
And the other thing I really enjoy about the league is hearing about other people's jobs. It's not just teachers, like some very unique jobs that everyone does from the Koreans or foreigners. Like one of the guys, our rookie this year, he was a voice model. I've never heard of a voice model before, but
first time for me.
He does like great. He does like the sounds for audio guides and stuff like that. So that was really interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Tech jobs. Yeah, so it was a great way to meet people. So I guess our first recommendation, if you like sports, look for a sports league. I know Seoul used to have a really good fitness group. I can't think of the name, but I was jealous of this group when I was living in Daejeon, but I'm not sure if it's still running. As Hakjun said, there's a ball hockey league. Yeah. What's
ball hockey league? Yeah.
Ball hockey league. So for the Aussies, it's not field hockey. It's like, ball hockey on an ice rink.
Do you play on ice?
They don't play on ice. They just run around.
Yeah.
Like street ball.
Street ball, yeah.
Something like that. Like that. But we're not using.
I don't know if that's the right terminology. I don't have no idea.
But it's the dimension is the same with the ice hockey, but we're running on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and what's some other popular sports that people play here? Would you say baseball is probably number one? Soccer. What else do people play? Badminton's huge here. What else would you guys say is a place you could play some sport?
Actually, basketball is kind of like Korean guys. Like, I think almost every Korean guy play basketball. They know how to play basketball.
Sure. What about rugby? Is that a thing here?
There is a league.
Rugby is very rare. I think.
Is it? I went to my first rugby match here like 8 years ago in Ansan. That was the first time I've ever seen like huge Koreans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the ultimate frisbee. There's a league for that. Ultimate frisbee. What is it called?
That's true. I've seen it on Facebook before.
That's true, but not in Korea, I think.
Oh no, I did it in Korea my first year. I didn't even know what it was, but yeah, they had a competition in Pohang. I went there for the social side, but they were really competitive. Everyone doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Ultimate frisbee is pretty cool.
Like,
all right, so that's our first choice. If you love sports, there's plenty of sports options here in Korea. You just gotta Google. Thank goodness for Facebook. Just search on Facebook, and you'll find some ideas. Even if there's not sports groups. There's plenty of like living in Korea groups or living in Daejeon groups, living in Seoul groups. So there's plenty of options to do some research. Let's talk about language exchange. Gio, have you done any language exchanges?
Yeah, I have. Again, this is years ago, pre-COVID. So most of my language exchanges I found through the website Meetup. I'm sure you guys are very familiar with it. Yeah.
Meet up.
Meetup. Yes, it's
Meetup.
called Meetup. And it's basically a website where you have a bunch of just groups kind of putting things together. It could be different topics, categories, whether it's to meet up for like for any kind of language, or meetups just for like people to read books, anything you can think of, right? So a lot of times I would do that. Also, I used to be a big couch surfer at the time. Are you familiar with couch surfing?
Not actually, but
So basically, if you were like going to travel somewhere, rather than staying at a hotel or anything like that, a hostel, you would actually ask people if you could just crash on their couch, right? If they can host you instead. And most of the time it's free. A lot of people would just say, yeah, for sure. When I used to live in Songpa, I would have people at my place like every week. My place is just always booked. Like every morning I'd wake up to a bunch of emails, everybody just sending me requests to stay at my place for free, you know? And sometimes I'd be out of the country traveling and I would say, for sure, here's my code. I was very trustworthy. Come stay at my place for free for a few days, you know? And I had visitors from all over the world do this. The point I'm making here is that although it's just that there's many different aspects to it. There's the hosting as well as being hosted. There's this social aspect on there. So if you're traveling anywhere, if you access the app, you can actually meet other couch surfers in the area and kind of meet up together, you know? So I thought that was pretty cool. I did that a couple times during my travels.
Like as far as I know, there's like the words in America, there's a stranger danger about it.
Sure. And I was very hesitant. Like when I first came here 10 years ago, somebody suggested that to me. I was like, I would never stay at somebody's house, like ever. Until I finally tried it for myself, and it was the best experience ever.
You get like rating points. Yeah, it's a bit like Airbnb. If you're a good host, you get points. If you're a good
absolutely
the person that sleeps on the couch, you get points or whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
Or rankings or whatever.
Oh, really? They have like a rating system on their own.
I mean, they have to kind of filter all the people, all the stranger danger kind of people. You know, you're not going to book some place that has no profile picture, no reviews. That's a little sketchy, you know? Somebody who's kind of, they got to filter them out. Sure. Yeah.
All right. The next one is the one I sort of mentioned in the past podcast, and the one that really saved my first year here in Korea. I enjoyed them so much. Travel groups in Korea, they have some great tour companies that do great tours just for the weekends or for a longer vacation period that teachers get. We're not linked to any of them, but some I can think of is Adventure Korea, Enjoy Korea, Seoul Hiking Group, and there's also another one that's a bit government funded. And these tours are a great way to meet other teachers, other people, students. It's just a perfect social scene to get on the bus, especially if you're a solo here in Korea and you can't drive. It's a great way to see the country. Have you guys experienced any of these tours?
Absolutely. Seoul Hiking Group. I did my first Buddhist temple stay. The first was a Buddhist temple stay.
Oh, the temple stay?
Yeah, that was wonderful. And the second thing I did was the Borion Mud Festival. Back to back.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's when times are
That's been canceled the last 2 years.
Well,
I want to do that one.
But I'm like, that's the bucket list of the other guys.
Borion, my goodness.
Aside from Korea,
yeah.
How was that? Do you want to explain what it was like? Yeah.
Borion Mud Festival?
Yeah, I haven't done that either.
All right. It's basically just a bunch of foreigners going down to this muddy coast. They put like 8 to 10 people. Well, they used to put 8 to 10 people like in a room, you know, all these other foreigners in these little, what they're called pensions, like these little hotels, no furniture, just blankets and stuff all over the floor you can crash on. Not that it matters, you know. And then all day they just have like obstacle courses and everybody's just running around, just diving on these little muddy slides and wrestling pits. And they had outdoor concerts. They had like a free K-pop concert at the end of the night, fireworks on the beach. And it was just nonstop partying. Like until the sun came up, you know? So it was freaking fantastic. And I did that back to back.
Yeah. So I did some tours I did was some skiing trips with these companies. I've
True.
done Jeju with these companies, and I've done Jindo with these companies. And actually, the government funded one. This one, the government sort of pays some of these companies, and they make it super cheap to go on these tours. Like one of them I did was 20,000 won, about $20.
Yeah.
It was overnight, included all the food, transport, accommodation, going to museums, going into a fortress, going down to Jindo, going to a festival, included everything for $20. And I think there was 4 or 5 buses of people. It's mainly just for foreigners, and they just, the negative is you got to take a lot of photos, and you got to be in a lot of photos because the government wants to capture that moment.
Promo.
That's what they're trying to.
That's the catch.
Getting the public eye onto their tourism. Yeah. So
Sure.
I'm not sure. Yeah. So I really recommend those ones. And I also did temple stay with one of these companies. It's $10 to stay in the temple.
How was your experience at your temple stay? What was it like? Was it enlightening?
I went the very last one before winter. It was freaking freezing. It was like -15. And we did the temple stay. And then did you have to wake up at like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock to do the bows?
Hell yeah, I did. Like 3, 4 in the morning.
So it's freezing cold, and you do like a bit of a walk through the forest, and then you go to the temple. You sort of watch them do their thing.
But it wasn't
private
just
one.
A couple of bows. I don't know about you. I had to do 108.
100 bows.
108 bows. 108. Each volume for the teachings of the Buddha.
Yeah,
oh yes.
Like 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning.
At 5 a.m. And then for my breakfast was like a bowl of rice. That was it. And I was just sweating. Like, this is it.
No meat.
Can I just get like some bacon and eggs? Not a hash browns.
Great experience and a great way to meet people. Definitely recommend that.
Yeah.
Have you done any groups, Hakjun?
So actually I kind of like recommend you guys about this because like I myself enjoying the drinks, and there was a lot of like traditional alcohol making tours because in Korea we have household alcoholic beverage making things
like soju.
There's a lot of things like soju and cheongju and makgeolli, but like they're using their local
breweries, distilleries.
That's true, the local breweries.
Okay.
But they are really small, so they're not making a lot of like bottles or anything, but like they are unique, and sometimes they are very like certified from the government that they have this unique alcoholic beverages like makgeolli and soju and cheongju.
Yes.
So there is like governmental tourist group, like government will pay for you guys about like enjoying this sightseeing, and then go to these breweries, and then like make your own drinks.
Yes.
So I really recommend you guys. And then like I never been there, but like I know some guys from there, so I can hook you guys up, and then I hook you guys, our listeners, if you guys are really interested in.
Yeah, on that, I don't know. I think it was quite common in many cities. Like they used to do a Dijon wine and beer festival, and you get. And
that's
I don't know if it's a really
yeah.
place to meet friends, but it's a great place to take your friends.
Oh,
You go into this big wine warehouse, and all the wines are there from all over the world. People like exporting, importing, all that sort of stuff. And there's, us foreigners, we're a bunch of drunks. We go, you can line up. You have your wine glass. You pay $10 to get in, and you get your wine glass. And then there's this section where you can go in for 20 minutes, and they've got all the tasters there.
Sure.
You can just pull your own taster. It's free for all for like 10 minutes.
Sounds dangerous.
For 10 minutes.
Actually, one of my favorite experiences was a tour groups. It was the Seoul wine train. I don't know if you guys know about this.
No.
The train actually departs from Seoul Station. The interior has like chandeliers. I mean, I think it's a little gaudy, but it looks like the inside of like the Polar Express train, It's got like a bar, karaoke machine, stuff like that. And it's like a 2-hour train ride to God knows where. And all the while there's like an MC like singing songs and playing music. and you're just playing like these
Yes.
games, and you're drinking unlimited wine and like little food tray, like fruit and cheese and crackers the whole way there. So by the time you get to the actual winery, you're already like lit, you know? And then they take you around the gardens, the vineyards, to see where the grapes grow. And then they take you downstairs into the cellars, the wine cellars, where they have this big buffet with, again, all you can eat, all you can drink. And it was
Sounds
just,
like
it was,
Korean.
oh yeah. A lot of ajumas, Hamani's there, just rocking the place. It was incredible, you know?
Mm,
And then they had these little hot
Ah.
tubs where you would soak your feet, but it was wine, you know? It was like,
Oh,
you're soaking your
really?
feet in wine. Yeah, you're kind of like sucking at your toes afterward. But it was just sucking up all that Chianti, you know? But that was probably the best. I did that a couple times.
Wow,
For
that's
sure.
great.
Yeah, yeah.
That sounds great, man.
Yeah.
and I got one more, like similar to Gio's couch surfing. Hostels are very common here in Korea. I've never
Mhm.
really stayed at a hostel more than just to have a night's sleep, but there are plenty of great hostels where you can meet people, backpackers. You probably will get a lot of people like me or other Koreans that just want to sleep for the night, but hostels anywhere in the world is a great place to meet fellow backpackers,
Mhm.
solo travelers. Some of them, when travel starts getting going back here in Korea, they'll start doing their tours again, and pub crawls, bar crawls, all that will start coming back again. But yeah, that's a great way to meet people as well. Some of these sort of things, I've done them in many other countries, not in Korea, but many other countries. Actually, I did do a Halloween bar crawl here in Seoul. That was pretty good. Yeah. Boys, any other ideas to meet people?
Have you ever, speaking of hostels, have you ever stayed at a Jumjabong?
Oh, yeah, tell them about
I've
that.
met
That's
so many foreigners at Jumjabongs. There's this one, my favorite, hands down. It's in Busan. The place is called Heisupia. I don't know if it's open anymore, but what made this place, and every time I went to Busan, I'd always stay here specifically because the location, you know how they have like, most of them have the little hot tubs and you're just kind of chilling out in, but along the wall, it's all glass. So you see the ocean, right? You can see the sunrise, and it's right by that long bridge. I don't know the names of the
nice.
bridge, obviously, but it just
Yeah.
has this gorgeous view, and you see like the sun just like shimmering over the ocean as it's rising, and you got this gorgeous view. And the Jimjabong area, you know, the place where all the genders meet, it's just super
Yeah.
relaxing, nice cozy bar, and they just had all the amenities, and you just meet other like drunk foreigners there too. You like make that eye contact because you're like the others, you know, just give a little head nod, or if somebody's drinking a bunch of makgeolli soju, they kind of invite you over, and then, you know, start a conversation. You know, engage. I've done that
Mm.
plenty of times.
I stayed at one in Itaewon, and if you haven't, I just found I went there just for a night's sleep. It was like $6 to sleep for a whole night, but you don't. There's no
Right?
beds or anything. You just sleep on the floor.
$5.
Actually, I found like it looked like a bear cave. Like I found like a little bear cave. You go in
Yeah.
the cave, and there's like a little. It's not a pillow, like it's like a rock pillow.
It's a
I don't know
rock.
what it is.
Yeah. They're like these little cubes.
But I had my little cave, and I didn't sleep very good. But
No,
it
those are
it's so
those little
interesting.
capsules. Yeah. Oh, I miss them. I miss them so much.
All right, it's time to learn some Korean. Gio, our name is 4 for Man 1 Podcast. Do you want to explain why we called 4 for Man 1 Podcast?
Absolutely. So, Mon is 10,000 won, which is the Korean currency. 10,000 won is the equivalent to about 10 US dollars. At any convenience store you go into Korea, if you head towards the back near the beer section, you'll see all the cans of beer for Man 4 cans of beer for $10. Now, a lot of listeners have come up to us, not personally, via web, and they've asked, well, there are 3 of you, but there are 4 beers. Who is the 4th one? Drum roll. You, the listener.
Yeah,
You are the
the
4th.
listeners.
Woohoo.
Woohoo!
Congratulations.
Yeah. And so that 4th beer, while you're listening, have a beer while you're listening to us. But also, we're hoping to do some meetups in the future when we get a bigger community. Go to baseball games here in Korea, so much fun. Soccer games. Go to some restaurants where you need more than one person to go into these restaurants. Hakjun, have you got some recommendations where it's good to have a big group to go into a restaurant? Like
Yeah,
what type of food? Yeah.
there are a lot of like Korean festival foods in this city, Seoul. But like the one thing I really recommend you guys in this winter time is that the naengmyeon is
I'm not
yeah.
really a big fan of that. I'm not really one for, it's the ice noodles, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But
oh.
I always think that like that is very like unusual too, guys. Like if
Yeah.
you guys from the Western
Sure.
society.
To this day, I still
So
can't eat it.
uh,
It's not bad. It's not that, just not my cup of tea.
All right.
okay. So I think we should have one more podcast about the what the thing is the naengmyeon is, but I'm recommending you guys the naengmyeon is the like we are eating it the after having a meal of um the beef or the pork. Then we always have this naengmyeon because it is very refreshing your mouth. And
Palate.
then yes, that's true. Uh, and then the places that are recommending you guys is the Jongno area. Is there's a very big like popular um like Ajashi area, but still they have very good like welcoming atmosphere. And then like you will feel like you're the one of Korean regular if you go there,
Hmm.
because those ajashis and ajumas will not think you as a what should I say as a foreigner, but you guys are being in Korea, so
Right. As a local.
you're
Mm.
yes as
One
a
of
local.
us. Hmm.
Yes.
So look out for some of these meetups in the future. We'll have our Korean food expert. I went out with him a few weeks ago. We had some live octopus. Me personally, I wouldn't know
Yes.
what to do with live octopus. He showed me some great tips. So the best people to learn how to eat food properly here in Korea is with fellow Koreans. So I totally recommend that. So let's move on to part of this program. Me personally, I am terrible at Korean. My Korean's the lowest amongst these three. Gio, how's your Korean?
It's subpar. It's not any good.
Who's better, your daughter or yourself at speaking Korean?
My daughter for sure. Without a doubt.
Really?
Yes.
So we've got a new feature on Instagram. We're doing Korean word of the day. So maybe I can learn Korean this way. So building up to this podcast, we've been putting up some Korean word of the days on Instagram for Man1 podcast. So the first word we put up was cheese. Gio, do you know what cheese is in Korean?
I believe it's gunbae.
Our expert, can you please confirm?
That's almost the 99% correct.
Oh,
We are saying
whew.
come back.
Nice.
bad.
I'll take it.
With
Oh.
the festive accent. We say
And like
come
10,
back.
10 soju bottles next to you, yeah? Like on the
Ah.
table.
Yeah, that's my daily life.
All right. And our
Then minimum.
second word, Gio, friend. What's friend in Korean?
Well, that's easy. 친구.
Expert.
The same. Chingu. Chingu is
I passed.
All right.
yeah,
And
chingu is- yeah.
beer. What's beer in Korean?
맥주.
That's
this-
correct.
all right.
Also. Yeah.
How would, because we on our logo, Hakjun, we got 4 beers. How would we order 4 beers at the bar? In a simple way.
So,
Yeah.
So we're counting the alcoholic beverages as a chan, which is the glasses. So if you're going to a Korean restaurant and then order 4 beers, then 맥주 네 잔.
맥주 네 잔.
맥주 네 잔.
Yes. Yeah.
주세요.
Yeah,
Nice.
주세요 we were very, very polite way, but like 맥주 네 잔. And then the ajumas will go crazy. Oh, how did you know the Koreans?
This is true.
There's a service.
That's
All
hilarious.
right. So look out for that on Instagram. We're going to do that regularly. I put a BTS one next to our friend one. Gio, do you want to explain? You're working so hard on our website. Do you want to explain what's going on with the website?
Yes,
And all our
absolutely.
socials.
So if you haven't already, go ahead, follow us on Instagram, #4FromOnWan, and check out the website. The link is posted on the Instagram page. If you'd like to become a member on our website, sign up for free, join our community forum, where listeners can reach out with questions or comments about the show.
So the three of you guys, we're going to reply you guys about the real Korean life about it. And then like, if you guys have any question about it, we're going to take care of it, right?
Absolutely. We'll address them in
All right.
future episodes.
Yes.
All right, boys, I think we're done. Thank you for joining us and goodbye.
All right, catch you next time.
오케이, 안녕 여러분. 들어주셔서 감사합니다.